When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Hello and welcome to I Talk to Ghosts. I'm your haunted host, Jennifer, your spirit medium and teller of ghost stories. Thank you for joining me again in the spirit parlor this evening. Tonight, I want to talk about crystals, but not in the way you usually hear about them. This is not going to be a this stone does this stone does that. Instead, we're going to be talking about shape, because what a crystal is matters, but how energy moves through it matters just as much. Two people can work with the same stone and have completely different experiences, not because one is more gifted, but because one is holding a tower and the other is holding something smooth and rounded and quiet. Crystals aren't just objects. They're tools, and like any tool, the way they're shaped tells you how they want to be used. So tonight, let's explore how crystal shapes influence energy and how you can work with them intentionally, gently, and intuitively. One of the biggest misconceptions about crystals is that they're little magical batteries, that they just do things for you on their own. But crystals don't replace your power. They work with it. Think of them as energetic companions, ones that help focus, amplify, soften, or redirect what's already present. And the shape is one of the primary ways they do that. Shape determines how energy flows, where it concentrates, whether it feels active, calming, grounding, or expansive. So let's start with one of the most common forms. Crystal points and towers are all about direction. Energy moves in through the base and out through that pointed tip. This makes them excellent tools for manifestation work, setting intentions, focused ritual or altar use, energy work where you want clarity and purpose. These shapes don't whisper, they aim. Where you point that crystal tower matters. If the point faces away from you, it's sending energy outward. Think releasing, projecting, or anchoring an intention into the world. If the point faces towards you, it's drawing energy in, clarity, insight, calm, or whatever you're inviting. You might even notice that your body responds differently depending on which direction the point is facing. That's not imagination. That's awareness. That's using your intuition. Towers are wonderful for people who like structure, focus, and clarity. They're decisive. They say, this is where we're going. So now let's soften things a little bit. Double terminated crystals have a point on both ends, allowing energy to flow in two directions at once. These are beautiful tools for balance, emotional integration, communication, energy healing, or connecting two points, such as heart and mind, self and spirit. They don't push energy outward or pull inward inclusively. They circulate. If single-pointed crystals are like arrows, then double-terminated crystals are like conversations. They are especially helpful for people who feel overwhelmed by very strong directional energy, or for anyone doing inner work where listening is just as important as intending. You might think of these as crystals that listen as much as they speak. Now, rounded-shaped crystals like spheres, eggs, palm stones move energy evenly in all directions. There's no sharp focus here, no pressure, just a soft, steady field. These shapes are wonderful for meditation, emotional soothing, sleep, holding during anxiety or overwhelm, and also creating a calm and energetic atmosphere. They don't demand attention. They hold space. If you've ever felt disconnected from crystal points but deeply comforted by smooth stones, there's nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system may simply prefer diffused energy over directional energy. These shapes are especially supportive for sensitive people or for times when you don't need to do anything. You just need to be. And from there, we can talk about texture, because this matters more than people realize. Raw stones carry more untamed, earthy energy. They haven't been smoothed or softened, and you can often feel that. Their energy can be intense, grounding, elemental, and sometimes unpredictable. Rough crystals and stones are excellent for shadow work, ancestral or earth-based practices, deep grounding, and are wonderful to use during times of transformation. These stones teach, but they're not always meant to be carried constantly or slept beside. Now, polished stones have had their edges softened, and their energy often feels more consistent and integrated. Polished, smooth stones are wonderful for daily carrying, emotional work, long-term companionship, and also sleep and meditation. If raw stones feel like teachers, polished stones feel like well-loved, known companions. Neither is better. They just serve different roles. Now let's talk about some of my favorite shapes, clusters and druzzy formations. They work as collective fields, multiple points of radiant energy outward together, making them excellent for cleansing other stones, energizing a room, and supporting shared or ritual spaces. They're less personal and more environmental. They're perfect for altars. They're perfect for creative spaces, for rooms where many emotions pass through them. They don't focus on you. They hold space for everything. And I might add that they're beautiful too. If you aren't familiar with the term druzzy, you have probably encountered it before. Think of teeny tiny points in a crystal as if it's been spilled out or sprinkled on the surface. Clusters and druzzy formations can be delicate and extremely gorgeous. Having said all of this, I would love to walk you through a mini exercise. Let's choose a shape for you, okay? Let's pause for a minute. If it feels safe, take a breath. Hold space for yourself. Shut off that analytical thinking mind and feel your heart. Feel your body. Feel the space in the room that you're in. Very gently feel what it is you need right now. Not what you want, but what you need. And ask yourself, do I need energy directed? Do I need balancing? Do I need softening? You don't need to name a stone. Just notice which shape comes to mind. This knowing isn't random. It's your intuition speaking in a language older than words. Crystals aren't here to overpower you or do the work for you. They're here to remind you how energy moves through them and through you. Shape guides the flow. Intention animates it, and relationships sustain it. You don't need more crystals. You need a deeper conversation with the ones you already have. If you are interested in an illustrated, downloadable reminder of some of the ideas and concepts we talked about tonight, you can find it on my Patreon. All downloads of this nature are available for you for just $1. Support this podcast by visiting patreon.com/italktoghosts. Thank you for spending this time with me in the Spirit Parlor. Until next time, stay curious, stay gentle, and trust what you feel. Take care.
Hey everyone, I'm Erica.
And I'm Elizabeth.
We're sisters, wine lovers, and your hosts for the podcast Spirits Uncorked.
In Season 2, we're leaving the haunted waters of Lake Lanier in Georgia and diving into all new spooky stuff. Shadow people?
I've seen them.
Haunted military bases?
I've served on one.
Local restaurants with ghostly reputations?
I work at one.
Okay, if something spooky doesn't happen to you, I worry about you.
The paranormal is my normal.
Plus, we'll sip and chat with horror authors, fascinating guests, and test out some superstitions along the way.
Knock on wood.
So uncork a bottle and pour a glass of the paranormal with us on Season 2 of Spirits Uncorked.
Get ready for sips, scares, and sisterly sarcasm.